Making this one dumb decision lost me a bunch of money. I'm talking about immediately cutting my income in half. Look, I've made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K, and I'm telling you, lowering your prices is never the answer. Most entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs think that if they lower their prices, then they'll make more money because more people will be able to afford their product. Therefore, they'll get more sales. And that's completely false. And this only going to take me about 5 minutes to break down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll just be in a race to the bottom. And most likely you'll make it to the bottom and then you'll just fail and bottom out. So if that's what you want to do in business, have a great time with that. But look, like 9.5 times out of 10, lowering your prices is never the answer. I won't say 100% because nothing is 100% right, but darn near 100% of people that make their stuff cheaper, they just make less money. And I have a lot of firsthand experience with this. And it sucks. So not only does it suck to make less money, it also sucks because you will start to feel a sense of resentment or disdain for your customer base because you feel like you're delivering so much value for them and then you don't feel like you're getting compensated fairly for the value that you're giving out. And you don't want to feel any ill will towards your customers because that shows in your product creation, that shows in the care that you put in towards helping them, and it shows in your content. So the reason why you don't want to do this is this. Let me grab my whiteboard real quick. So look, most people think that if they lower their prices, then they'll actually make more money because more people will be able to afford their stuff, right? Wrong. You actually have to end up putting in way more work to get in front of more of these people that probably aren't qualified to buy the stuff that you have right now. And then also a lot of the cheaper people are also going to be a headache because even just think about this on a pricing metric between two companies that have very similar products. So if we just look at big business and let's look at a Walmart or a Target, right? Walmart and Target, they basically sell the same stuff, but you have a certain perception of a Walmart customer over a Target customer, don't you? Why? Because Walmart stuff is so cheap that most people associate a certain type of person to shop at Walmart. And those customer service issues that Walmart has are way worse than the customer service issues that Target has. And I also know this as a fact because I used to work at Target when I was in high school for a couple months. And my friend worked at Walmart, and then just the stories that he would tell me about the customer service issues he would have on a day-to-day basis, they were way worse than what we had at Target. Now, even though Target's tagline is expect more, pay less, right? Expect more, pay less. But the customer base for Target, they actually do come to expect more simply in just the small difference in the price points between the two. So even just on a customer base, who is it that you actually want to attract? Who is it that you want to build up an audience of buyers from? Would you much rather be Walmart or would you much rather be a Target? Or even on a more premium aspect, would you rather be Walmart or would you rather be Neiman Marcus? I'm telling you, the headaches from customers that Neiman Marcus has is totally different than the problems that Walmart customers provide. Now, even outside of this, from a customer service and audience standpoint, right? The reason why this doesn't work for like over 90% of entrepreneurs is because usually when you drop your prices, you usually just make less money anyway. So like I said, people, they think that if they raise their prices, they're going to make more money because more people can afford their stuff. And most people, they're doing this because they're thinking of making more money instead of thinking of something that's called lifetime value. So here in the business world, we call LTV lifetime value. That is the lifetime value of your actual customer. Most people that aren't thinking of this, they're just thinking of how to make more money. So in the past, I had a product that I was selling. It was like an accelerator program, and I used to be in this small niche in real estate called wholesaling, right? And I put together this accelerator program that consisted of a digital product, and then you had X amount of coaching sessions with myself. And I was looking for ways on how I could extend my LTV of the people that had joined my accelerator program. I wanted to think of how I could increase the lifetime value. So what I decided to do, and this was so stupid looking back on it, but thankfully I've done it so you don't have to go through it yourself. So what I thought that I would do was that if I slash my prices and decrease them by 50%, then I'll be able to increase my LTV because more people would stay for longer and I would be able to get more people to join because it's just cheaper than everything that's out there in the marketplace. So I was like, I'm just going to undercut everybody, sell my stuff for the cheapest, deliver more to them actually, and everybody will be able to come to me because I'll just be able to undercut all the competition. Wrong. What happened was that my expenses went up because I was providing more to the people, but my actual income went down. And guess how much my income went down? My income went down by 50% because it did not increase my LTV at all. People were staying for the same amount of time and I was getting less qualified people to join because something about your price point is that your price point is a barrier to the quality of customer that you're going to attract. And even outside of that, some people that actually were perfect candidates to join my program, they weren't joining because they were just scratching their head and they were like, man, why is it so cheap? Like something smells fishy. And here's the thing about price points. The best can't be the cheapest and the cheapest can't be the best. Just think about anything in the marketplace. So you want to position yourself properly. So when I did this, I was like, man, I just put a huge workload on myself and I just decreased my income 50%. And now I'm also not feeling good about what I'm doing each and every single week because I feel a disdain towards my actual customer base. And it sucked hard. That's what she said. But I found the same thing to be true in all of my digital product creation also. It's just a general rule of thumb of business that it's just true in every single aspect. You never want to lower your price. If anything, you want to raise your prices. So the reason why most people want to lower their stuff, like I said, is because they think that more people are going to buy your stuff. And that's not the way. So look, there's 6 ways to where you can actually increase your income. So the first one out of the 6 is to raise your prices, right? Not lower them. Raise them. And this one is the easiest to actually do. And 100% of the time, when I have raised my prices for anything, I've always made more money by default. So like, yeah, I might get less people to buy it, but the difference between people that buy it at an expensive price versus the people that buy it at a lower price, it's never really that much difference. If anything, at most, it's like a third. Like a third less people will buy it. But if the prices are increased, you actually make more money off of selling to less people. So if I just give you an example real quick, and I'm gonna just use these round numbers because it's just easy to do math with. So let's say that you just had something available for, you had some type of low ticket digital product available for $50, right? And let's say that a third less people buy it when you raise the price to $100. Let's say that you double your prices, right? Well, if I say that a third less people buy it at this price point than this price point, that means that if you had 3 people purchase this at this price point here, you're at $150, right? But if you had a third less people buy it, which means now you have 2 people buying it at this price point, well, yeah, you sold to less people, but you just made $200 instead of the $150. And typically in my entire time as a full-time entrepreneur since 2016, this has pretty much been the case for any and everything that I've done. So like I said, the first way to raise your LTV or to make more money online is to raise your prices. The second way is to decrease or minimize your costs, right? So you can be making the same amount of money that you're making right now, just decrease your expenses, boom, you're making more money. The third way is to get more resales, right? Or repeat buyers. The fourth way is to get upsells. The fifth way is to get cross sales. And the sixth way is to get down sales. All right, so let me explain 3, 4, 5, and 6 real quick. So resales, like I said, this is about getting more people to buy more often. So if I use McDonald's as an example, right? This will be So you like our burgers? Come back and get more burgers. That's a resale. A upsell would be, okay, you just got this number one. Would you like to get this in a large, right? The upsell would be, would you like this in a large? A cross sell would mean, would you like to buy something that pairs with what it is that you just bought? So if I'm using McDonald's again as an example, the cross sell would be, would you like fries and a drink with it, right? And then a down sell would be, okay, maybe you can't afford the Big Mac, but would you like to get the McDouble, right? You still want to sell them something, but they may not be able to buy something off the value menu, but they can get a McDouble. So in the online business world, or how I solely focus on digital products now, a resale could be either creating more products to get people to buy more products, which I highly advise against that, because most people, they're just thinking of how many products that they can create, and they never get to a point to where they're profitably maximizing and optimizing that one product. So something that could be a resale is to have something that is a recurring product, right? That could be something like a membership or a community, something that they buy it from you once, but they pay for it over and over and over and over and over again. An upsell could be to get somebody to go to a higher tier of something that you've created at a lower tier. So let's say that you have an ebook available, for an example. An upsell could be getting that person to buy an actual course. A cross sell, like I said with McDonald's, the cross sell would be the fries and the drink, right? Well, a cross sell to something like an ebook would be something like an audiobook, right? A cross sell to a course could be some type of software that they may need to use to implement the information that you're talking about in the course, or something. You could be like an affiliate for somebody, right? An affiliate for something that you talk about in the actual course could be something that you could cross-sell. It's something that goes hand in hand with the core offer that you have, just like the fries and the drink go hand in hand with the burger at McDonald's. And the downsell, remember, the downsell was like, okay, you can't get the Big Mac, but here's the McDouble for you. So if I go back up to here, for example, with upsells, let's say that I had a course for sale, right? So something that I've done in the past is that I've downsold a course that I had. So if somebody actually wanted the course, but then they declined it in one of my funnels, I would actually downsell them the same exact product at a significant discount. But people, they would not see that discount unless they chose to decline it. So that may not make any sense to you right now, but look. So let's say that I had a low ticket digital product available. I'm gonna just keep it at the ebook just because that's an example that we used here, right? So let's say that this is my core offering that I had of an ebook that was available for sale. Well, I would have something called an order bump, right? An order bump, or those cross sales available, which would be like that audiobook, right? And then a percentage of people would take this order bump or that cross sale. But then right after that, I would upsell them into a course, right? And a percentage of people would take that upsell, but guess what? For the percentage of people that would decline that, I would downsell them. The same exact thing at a discount, but nobody would see that downsell except for the people that declined the upsell. And that's how I made a lot of money on downsells actually. But I'm telling you, lowering your prices is never the answer. Raising your prices and focusing in on these 6 right here, you get numbers coming in online in your business like all of them that you see on the screen right now. So if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join the Credit at the Top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community and entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only $47 a month to join right now. That's less than a cup of coffee per day. And we're going up to $97 a month here pretty soon. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap in. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Look, I'm telling you, and I get it because I've been there. Like, you think that you're doing a bigger service to people by just offering your stuff for cheaper. But I'm telling you, majority of the time, like over 9 times out of 10, like 9.568 times out of 10, you end up attracting the wrong customer, you end up hating what you're doing because now you're putting yourself in a position where you have to serve the wrong people. And then typically you have to do more work because, as backwards as it sounds, people that get stuff for the cheapest expect the most from you, and you just end up making less money when you could sell something that's a little bit more expensive to less people. And then those people that you're still thinking about that can't afford your stuff, well, you can still serve them through the free stuff that you give out all the time, through the free content that you give. That can be your community service. Like, I consider my content to be community service content. Whether somebody buys from me or not, they're still going to get served and they're still receiving value because I know for a fact my free stuff is better than other people's paid stuff. And just think about this for a second. Like, just think logically for a quick second. Why would you try to build a business around selling stuff to people that don't have money? You wouldn't make any money because the people that you're selling to don't have any money. So don't go to a race to the bottom. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. And go ahead and check out this video right here for 3 tiny digital products that you'll make at least 6 figures with. It's crowded at the top.